Hey everyone, welcome back to The Grind, and in today's video we will be listing some reasons to why Rust is not a console game, and also why it kind of does work as a console game. Bit of a weird video, but let's get straight into it. Oh, but also make sure to leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this and much more. Click the bell too so that you don't miss out on any future videos, and now we can get on with it. So I think one of the most obvious things that separate Rust on a PC and a console counterpart is the fact that their controls are so different. For survival games like Rust, the controls are so much better on PC and they work way better there than on console. There are many things that are easy to access or press on PC, but imagine how much of a nightmare it would be to do a lot of those things on a controller. There are most likely more menus, selections, and hoops to get through for literally one thing that is simply done by the press of a button on a computer keyboard. Even something like the act of clicking is a lot more simple and easy to do and more intuitive than on a console. And PC players also have a great advantage because they can do a lot of the button mapping and setting things just up the way they want it. It's really easy and efficient, whereas on console it would not be the same at all. I mean, think of all the work the devs would have to do just to make sure that there is some way to get everything to work. PCs just have the upper hand in this situation. Next are the game settings. PC is a king for being able to change a lot of settings to their liking and try to get the best performance they possibly can. For example, something as simple as changing the resolution is a lot more intuitive and can actually boost FPS in a lot of games, which is pretty cool. Another really great thing is that on the PC you can take really good advantage of very high frame rates. This of course will depend on your monitor and how beefy your PC is and what settings you're on. However, on consoles, most players are just capped at 30 FPS for most games, which is pretty disappointing, especially knowing PC players are most likely playing at this 60 FPS and even higher. More often than not, consoles do not have any settings for the graphics and try to increase the FPS the best they can, but to no avail. You can imagine how much of a hindrance this is when playing Rust. It just isn't as fun and as good as it is on PC. I think this will definitely hinder the Rust experience when it goes to console. Now, when it comes to multiplayer, things are a little bit complicated. I mean, we have already spoken about how the consoles of the game favor PC players, so imagine if PC players and console players could play with or against each other in Rust. This would make the game pretty unfair for the console players purely just because of the controls, but saying that, I think it's safe to assume that the game will have crossplay multiplayer between the Xbox consoles and the PlayStation ones, which will be pretty good. So in that case, console players will be together no matter which side of the spectrum they choose to be. That is awesome. I just do not hope that it supports crossplay across all systems, because that truly would be unfair to put PC players with console players. However, apparently that is not going to be a feature, so thankfully they're choosing the right choice on this one. Now, on an even more positive note, here is a reason why Rust is a console game. If, or rather at this point when it goes to console, it will be reaching more players and a lot of new players. Of course, there is a crazy amount of console users, so you can expect Rust will be a pretty big hit when it does drop onto consoles, but another important thing to note is that the game will be released around the time of the next generation console launch. So that is great timing, and it might boost the game quite a bit because it will be reaching a larger audience already with the new consoles. So for this last point we're going to make, we have already spoken about how the great performance of the game is really good on PC and how it can be changed according to what you want. And yes, consoles generally tend to be pretty limited in this regard, but we did not mention the next generation consoles in that conversation because those consoles are a different breed altogether. See, on the next gen consoles, gaming is taken to the next level, and you can expect the same when it comes to Rust. On the Xbox Series S and X, games will take full advantage of the power that these new consoles have to offer. For example, Rust can be played at a higher resolution, like 4K, and the consoles can actually run games at 120 FPS, which is insane for a console. Like, that's the first time in history. With this massive leap in console power, you are no more limited to just 30 FPS, and the visuals will look stunning, and load times will be a lot better as well. If PlayStation goes the same route when it comes to backward compatibility, then you can expect the same awesome upgrades, so next gen Rust will look fantastic. It is a very interesting debate about whether Rust is a console game or not. This will most likely be about people's opinions and how they experience the game on both platforms, so we want to hear from you. Do you think that Rust is a console game or it isn't a console game? Do let us know down in the comments below. Leave your arguments and leave your points and leave your opinions. Let's all start a conversation. I would love to chat about it. However, that does lead us to the end of the video. I do thank you all so much for tuning in. Make sure to leave a like on this video and subscribe to the channel for more videos like it and much more. Of course, turn on notifications too so that you don't miss out on any future videos. I feel like I don't need to remind you guys, but just in case you forgot that one little time, we'll catch you guys next time, but until then, take care.